Okay, so if you don't have your Ansible set up on your Mac, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna hopefully it won't take forever. Hold on, this is a slow computer. Hold on. If you don't have it set up on your Mac, let's walk through that. And then we'll set that up. And then what we'll do is we'll set it up on on another Linux box as well. I'll spin one up, and we'll do two ways. We'll do one with Yum or CentOS, and we'll do one with Mac. All right, let's go with the one with Mac first. My little screen went away. Oh, there you are. Leave that there. Let's open up another color here. Let's go with whatever solid colors are. So first thing I need to install Homebrew. Like I haven't even installed Homebrew on this one. Yeah. Brew SH. Just Homebrew.
Miss Reed,
Mm-hmm.
when is like the deadline to get certified for Openstack because they changed the test or something?
It's in the next. It's this month. It's this month.
This month. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when they, I don't know if you know. I'm sorry if you don't, but like when they changed the test, like would the stuff that's on Linux Academy be obsolete that I can't use it to study for the next test, or
No, you
like?
can't. So that's gonna air out. So there's two things. So the test is. Oh, come on. Sure, fine. Come on. The test is now going to be neutron is what no not neutron Newton. So the OpenStack test, the next one is OpenStack. The next release is Newton, but the one after that is Octa. And I think Octa is a release is a general release. I think it is. Like it's still being tested. I think it's in testing phase. So this is Newton. And I actually had it up right here. So here's the repos. So here you'll see, well, let me make this bigger. So, all right. So Okta is the latest and greatest one. Newton is what the test is changing to.
Okay.
So if you set up a Packstack install, which is your one-time installer, if you follow these guidelines right here, what it's going to do right here is going to install the latest and greatest release, which is your Octa. And then it's going to go through and you're going to do your Packstack install. And you'll see that right here. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
what it's installing. What you can do is you can still follow these steps up until this point here where you're doing the Octa install and just right click, go into Newton, get the latest and greatest of that. Right click on here and then install, well, not that one, this one. Install the latest and greatest of Newton, which is 5/15/2017. And so that's what I did on the other one is I installed, this is the latest and greatest. This is the installer from Newton. And so I installed this. What I want to do, because I've done this so many times, what I want to do is actually automate this install. So in order to automate this install, you can write a script that actually has all these commands in them, or you can set up a script on your laptop using Ansible to uh, do this install, so that way you have control of it. Another thing you want to do is, like for me, I don't have it set up on this machine, but you can set it up where you're spinning up your stuff over at Google, GCP, Azure, or you're spinning it up over at DigitalOcean. And you can say, okay, well, I'm going to automate that. Like, so you have here, you have tokens that you can grab from here, from DigitalOcean, in the same way what you have from GCP as well. So you can grab those, and once you grab those, then you can go and say, okay, well, once I do that, I can set up a token, and I can use Ansible to spin up my VM in DigitalOcean, grab my IP address and my root password, set up my SSH key exchange, and then run whatever I need to run from there. The other one that I wanted us to do that I haven't dived off into yet is Terraform. And I need to set this up for bare metal, but I haven't yet. So Terraform works very similar to Ansible. And you can see I'm slow here. So with Terraform, they have different providers. Like you see here the AWS provider. They have a DigitalOcean provider. They have a provider for Azure. And when I say providers, meaning you'll see, but whenever this comes up, you'll see that it shows like, okay, well, if I have my secret key, or my public key, and or my password for my AWS account, I can then go in and say, this is slow. I can then go in and say, hey, I've logged in, spin me up a tiny instance, and then do X, Y, and Z. And I'll post this. And this is one of the ones I wanted us to get into. Okay. So let me go back and finish off my pip install if it's done here. Yeah, it's still installing there. All right. So while that's going, let me show you this. Can you guys see this, or you ladies, I should say?
I think it might be hung up on the Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Is it back?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, there it is. All right. So when you do your Packstack install, you do well. Before you do, you should do this. Before you do your install, you should generate your answer file. All right. And so with your answer file, you can kind of set up whatever you need, right? So let's talk about like the core things that you need for OpenStack is Glance, which is your image server. And when I say image, I mean like what type of cloud image you want to deploy for your instance. And then you have Nova, which is your instance, Keystone, which is your login or identity, I should say. Neutron, which is your networking. So anything that deals with networking and security groups or whatever, that's your Neutron. What am I missing? 6 of them. Neutron. Hold on, I can look right here. Some people install Heat. What am I missing? The database is Troll, but that's not the main. Nova. I just forgot it off the top of my head. Let's go Core. Here we go. Core OpenStack. I just blinked. All right, let's see. Do they have it on here? No, they don't. Give me 1 second. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So, Salameter is old. I think that got replaced. This is old. This is old news right here. Your instance, your OpenStack, your networking. Oh, yeah, okay. Swift and Cinder. Those are the two I was with. The storage. You need those. Swift and Cinder. So Swift is your object storage, kind of like S3. And then Cinder is your block storage. And when I say block, I mean like your NAS or network attached storage, or you're saying storage area network or over iSCSI. That's what that is. All right. And so in here, inside this file, only thing I added right here because I wanted to make it quick was my time server because everything needs to be on time. And then you have your IP address of the server that you're going to do. But you can also change the password, like it's PW. So I can set up a password for, like, see, it just says placeholder. So you can go in and set up your password. And once you do that, then basically you do, let me go back this way, and generate it. Awesome. So basically what you do is Packstack, answer, hash file, and then I put it under root answers.txt. And you hit enter and it does an install. It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. Minimum memory requirements, I would go with 8. If you're using like a cloud one, and then another one would be the size of your hard drive would be, you can do a minimum about 20 gigs, but if you do an instance of DigitalOcean, 8 gigs is 8 gigs equals to 80 gigs of hard drive space. So, any questions? All right. So as you can see, after my install, it tells me I got 5 gigs used. I put in 8 gigs, so I got one for cache. I got 2 gigs left. So let's look at my file here. Let's do ls. And if I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna Openstack. I'm gonna source this Keystone admin file, and then I'm going to Openstack complete and move this over to complete. Right. Let it do its thing, and I'm gonna source my complete file. So what I've just done is I've set up my environment so that I can move freely about the command line for OpenStack. So
I'm not able to see your screen.
uh,
I actually see the Network World
okay.
website page, but that's all that I see.
Oh, hold on. How about that?
Okay, yep.
Okay. All right. So here, if you catching up, here's why I was talking about the Packstack and generate the answer file. I'll walk through the answer file. And then here is me leaving the answer file, but I'll go back to it. Let's go back up there to that. Awesome. I guess because I am in this admin role, it's going to kick me out all the way. What happened to my answer file? All right, here we go. This was my answer file. So this is what I went through and I was talking about. I changed some parameters so you can change passwords. You can also change, like for my MariaDB password, that's my password to log in. So you can set all of this up before you install. And then after you set this up, you go through and you run this command here. Packstack, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no wonder, because I was trying to do it now. And you run that command, and then it starts off your install. And it shouldn't take no more than 20 to 30 minutes. And then once you have that set up, let me see what my IP address is. Right here. So by default, let me go back up to here. You see my screen, correct? Everybody see my
Yes.
screen?
Google.
It should be on the dashboard. It should be on Openstack dashboard.
No, see Google.
How about now?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, so let's clear. Let me see something. Let me get my passwords here. Alright. I have my password. I am going to log in. Alright, so this is the dashboard for OpenStack. By default, based on my answer file that I have, I created an admin project. I created a demo, but you need services because services takes care of endpoints and how you communicate with OpenStack. They don't have a list in here, but don't get rid of that. So if we go up here to project, and as you can see, here's another thing to be aware of. This is I have a domain named default, and I mean we can verify that, right? So let's go back over here. See this?
Yes.
Okay. So here I'm gonna type in. I'm gonna source my Keystone admin, and I'm going to source complete because I want to tab complete. That's what I do here. So when I type OpenStack tab twice, you see I get, never mind that, get compare words reference, never mind that, but you see I get my different options that I can do. Right now, I want to show you the different projects that I just showed you in the interface I'm going to show you from command line. So let's clear this and get up here. So let's do OpenStack, and you type help first and then project. Now it's going to tell you the list of projects the list of options you have for projects. So let's do OpenStack project list. Now it's going to give me my options that I can pass on for listing out projects. So I'm going to clear here. Just going to go up, use my up arrow and get rid of help. Now when I type OpenStack project list, it shows me services, demo, and admin. Those were the same things that I saw over here. Come on, you can do it. Under identity and then projects. And those are the same projects. So with that being said, when we finish off this Ansible stuff, we can set Ansible up with doing things for us, and we won't even have to log in to our controller at all. We'll just be pushing out Ansible scripts to do everything that we need to do. Another functionality of OpenStack is there's creating different domains, so having multi-domains. So you may, right now the domain is default, but you can set up multiple domains. You can set up multiple projects within domains. So that way, if you are the admin and someone needs to, use say you want to be, say I'm a customer and I need to be able to spin up, 5 machines to do for my infrastructure. I can spin up 5 machines for my infrastructure in a particular project, and then somebody else can come along and do the same thing. Does all of that make sense?
Yep.
All right. So let me see where I'm at with my homebrew install. Oh, it finished. All right, let's hop over to that. All right, homebrew. Here we go. All right, so I did my homebrew install. So now, I forget homebrew. Was it brew? Yeah, it's brew. Install pip. And I need to install wget too. So as this does its thing, or like I said earlier, you should allow. I need to install Python. You need to allow it to also install your Ansible. So let's see what are my next steps after that. Did you get yours to work at all?
I'm actually going through the install right now.
Okay. All right. So it's doing this thing over there. And let me do this as well. Okay. Hold on. Right. You see my screen here? All right. So let's do a yum. Oh, it's already installed. Cool. All right. So when it installs, it creates on. Remember, we're on CentOS. Verify that with a cat etc red hat release CentOS 7.3. So it installs Ansible host. So here's my host file for me to set up the servers that I want to communicate with. And on your Mac, it's not etc Ansible host. It's like user local Ansible host, something like that. I forget the path, but it's not installed under etc. All right, so that's what we use to communicate. That's pretty much it for Ansible, except for the roles. We'll talk about roles later. And also in the book, they also get into roles as well too. So let's see. Look at my other one. It's still doing this install. Let's hop back over here to. Let's hop back over to Openstack dashboard. All right. So we got the project set. We got the project set up. Let's create an instance. So and remember now, you can do all of this from command line and Ansible. So let's launch an instance. And we could do that all here too. We can do OpenStack, help instance. I'll keep that queued up for you. All right, so we'll say this is my test today. Well, let's call it my TT, my triple T. One count, the source. Now, when you come down here and you say, I want to, this is what I was talking about, the image. This is glance that we're talking about here. We're talking about install it from this particular QCloud image. So there are cloud images out there. So let me pull that up for you too. So you can have an idea of that. So cloud, OpenStack, cloud images. You can also get images from various other places. But see, they have an Ubuntu image there. So here's like we can get a CentOS image, and we can go CentOS 7. And here's a list of all the images for CentOS 7 that you can get. You got one for if you're going to deploy to Azure. Let's go by last modified here. All right, the latest and greatest. See, it's a generic QCal from 612. I'll put that here. So let's go back to our guy. Remember now, you can install various images. Oopsie, sorry. Did you guys see that?
So I'm seeing your Google display. Okay, yep, see it now.
Okay. So yeah, these are the images. And do you see my screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, back to my dashboard. Okay, so those are the various images. When we talk about flavors, we're talking about sizing. And so glances the image, sender and blocker, storage, sizing, flavor, sizing. So here we're going to see that it has a different type of quota, right? So each instance has virtual CPUs that it's going to, the amount of information it's going to take, resources it's going to take up. So you have like 10% for quotas. We have 5% for your CPUs, how much RAM it's going to use, how much RAM do I have left, and so forth. So I'm just going to use a tiny instance. And then we have networks. Right now, I only have one network. And it's just going to have access to the public because I don't have anything else set up. And then it's going to take the default security groups. I haven't set up any ports, so I haven't done any of this. And we're just going to launch this instance. All right, so it builds it out. So it's doing this thing. You can see it's using block device mapping. I haven't assigned it a floating IP so that you can hit it from the outside. I didn't do that. So it's building. And we're going to verify that this is actually, so it's active, right? And it's running. And then it assigns the IP address. So back over on our tab here, we can say Openstack help Nova. Nova is the one that takes care of your instances. Oh, that's nice. That's what we have options of. Is it Nova? It must be instance then. Or server. Okay, server. All right, so let's clear that because you saw that run off the screen. Let's do that one again. So we can see we can get a list of the server. So let's do OpenStack server list. So you can see from command line, I have the ID that it was created with. I have the name, if it was active, and the public IP it has. Everyone see that?
Yep.
All right, let's go back and check our homebrew. What it's doing. As you can see, it's still going. I'm still doing this pip install. It's still going. All right, so now let's go back over here to our dashboard. All right, back on the OpenStack dashboard. So with this, now that I have this OpenStack instance up, there are other things I can do. I can set up, let me show you this. Let's go to the network topology. And I want to show you what it looks like from a standpoint. As you can see, let's label this. You can see I'm now connected to the internet. But what I also can do is actually get a console of this instance. Whenever it decides to finish doing this thing here. Let's force it to reboot. Are you seeing this? The black screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your install is still going too?
Nope, actually my install completed. I'm good to go.
Okay, so you're good to go with Ansible. So this is what I Oh, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to make you an account on my Openstack machine that's out in the cloud. And what you're going to do is, you know how to set up SSH keys?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to set up SSH keys. And then what we're going to do is, in fact, you're going to share your screen if you can. Can you share your screen?
Let's see. Now I know that I've got a lot of stuff running. I know that if I've tried to share my screen and have other stuff running, and
I'll
it
make you a presenter.
kind of froze up.
How about that? You should have got a request.
Okay, see?
And then we should be seeing you.
Okay, nothing yet.
Did you take the request?
I'm not seeing a request. Hang on a second. Let me minimize some stuff.
Yeah. You should have everything. We're just waiting on you.
No, I'm not seeing it.
And we're being patient because we're waiting on you. Biting our fingernails.
I'm not seeing it at all. Hold on, let me try to close out some stuff. 1 second.
We're waiting on you. That's what we do. Story of my life. Waiting on Tamika. That's a funny one. Tamika waiting on Tamika.
No, I don't see it.
Hold on, let me go back and see if I can. Because I made you a presenter, and then you should have had a little pop up.
Yeah.
All right, Shana, you go give this a shot. Make you a presenter and see if it works for you.
Okay.
Can you pop up now? Can you share your screen?
Let's see.
Try it. I just sent a request to you. Oh, use an arrow on Tamika, not read. Use an arrow. Okay. So, all right. So, all right. We're gonna go back to you.
I'm having some system issues going on right about now. I know that. Yeah, I think it may be because of.
All right, Tamika. We're gonna try you again. Yeah, I can see. Tamika, we're gonna give you a shot. Okay, you're going away, and now we offered you to be the presenter. All you gotta do is accept. Like they say on the show, say yes, my beloved.
I don't know that show.
No, you didn't see it. You don't see it.
Nope, not seeing it.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
having some system issues.
I was being advantageous. Being advantageous. All right, back to me.
Oh, now I'm really locked up.
Uh-oh. But can everybody else see my screen now? Uh-oh. She's locked out. Are you on a gateway?
I am not. Thank God.
Have jokes. I swear. I swear you are like Richard Pryor up there.
Is Gateway even still around?
Stabs.
Stab. Okay, I logged into my screen. And I logged into the instance. So it's slow. So let's see. We know it gave a 172 IP address. So this is the caveat with OpenStack. This is the background that I had to learn myself. And when they tell you about it, they don't tell you about it when you're installing. They tell you about it when you go on YouTube and you look around in forums. So let's talk about this. Let me find my window.
I'm going to quit and come back in, okay?
That's fine. All right. You should see my screen black and green.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to do an IPA. I'm going to type this over to less. Really what I am typing is IPADDR. But for all intents and purposes, IPA works. I'm going to type that over to less. And first 6 months. Can I do that? No. All right. So what I'm doing is I want to show you this, and I'm going to show you where this you can minimize your problems. Okay. All right. So let's go all the way back. All the way back. All right. When I created my instance, I created it and I told it to give me a private IP address. Right. So when it makes this private IP address from DigitalOcean, they give it a /16 subnet, meaning the first two octets are on. 10 and 132 are on. All right? So that means on my private side of my network, I can slice and dice this thing up however I want to. So I showed you this before, but let's do an IP calculator, IP subnet calculator. All right. So this guy here, show these quick and easy. I put in what my IP address is. I know that it's a /16 that I got. However, say I want to go to, for all intents and purposes, let's go to a /20 on that. And I hit enter. Remember, the bits that you borrowed are the number of networks you can have -2. And then the bits left over are the number of hosts on each network. So in here, you can see that my first network is 10.132.16, right? And also it goes all the way up and tells me I'm gonna get 16 subnets and I'm gonna get 65,000 hosts in all, right? So you remember that. This is quick and easy to go to the website. But if you had to do it on the test, you have to go over about how you do that on the test. Okay. So with that being said, the reason why that's important is because of this guy. Let me quit. So I'm gonna go back and do the IP list. So you can see here, I have my ETH0. You see I have my ETH1, that IP address there. But look what else I have. Inside Openstack sets up what we call bridges. And it's under BREX. But inside my answer file, I set that up to be, I just left it default and it went with 172. What has to happen is your private IP address needs to become this IP address. You need to make that a private, and your public IP for your bridge needs to become this 138, or your machine won't get out. This is just setting it up on a one-time on a one machine install. All right, so let's look at our answer file. And let's look for this 172. All right, so you can see here my floating range IP is what that is. This is horrible on the color, but you get the gist. That's that floating range IP. This is that 10 that we need to set this up to be, because we have an actual physical NIC that we can connect to, and then go from there. Another thing to look at. Come on. If I do a IP route, you'll see that my 10 has a source where it goes out. My 138 has a source, and then that 169 has this thing, this, that, and other. But my bridge doesn't have a way to get out. My bridge doesn't have a way to get out. And I need my bridge to connect me to the outside world, which is that 138 address that I'm going over. So my bridge needs to become my outside world. So etc sysconfig network scripts. If you come in here and look at ETH0, basically all these settings right here need to become, let's copy this over to and basically you get rid of the hardware stuff and whatever. But basically that's what happens with this. Get rid of the controlled by network manager. We're supposed to turn all that off too. And the IP address 2, you get rid of that. DNS.
You're updating the answer file?
What'd you say?
You're updating the answer file?
No, this is, I'm not updating the answer file. What I'm showing is when you create your VMs or instances, I should say, in OpenStack, if you use the default install and you don't create your bridge, you'll have to go back and manually do everything. So if you let your answer file create that for you, that way you won't have to kind of muck with like what should mine. Well, you still got to set up your bridge, but then you won't have to muck with what your floating IPs are and all of that stuff. You just have to create your bridge. And they talk about this they don't talk about it a lot in the when you're doing your pack install. They're just like, hey, here's your IP address, and they spin up. But then you want to take your IPs, right? And you want to assign them floating IP addresses. When you're working with DigitalOcean or Google Cloud, you only get one public IP. So you don't have a range of public IPs to assign to that particular instance. So how do you get that IP assigned? So you assign it a private IP. And basically what you do is you set up a default route and then use security rules for that instance to get out to the main public. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Anybody got questions? I know that sounds confusing. It took me a minute to figure that out. Like, how is that going to work? Like, how do I do that? How do I mimic this in my environment? So, and then the other thing is on the test, I did this too. I could go back and generate the answer file how they had it set up. So you can go back and say Packstack -gen -answer. I think it's dash. So answer -file equal to root answer text. Let's put 2. So it's gonna generate for me. Let me go back over to roots, and you'll see that file there. So what I can do, like if I'm on the test, I can generate the file and say, okay, all right, I can see what services they've installed, what services are active, what IP addresses are associated with what, just to give me a better idea about the environment that I'm working in when I'm on the test. Now you said you were lost. Where were you lost at? No one should be lost. We don't like people lost. We're gonna have to send the boat out for you. D's the captain of the boat. So no. Do you have a gateway too?
There you go. My boat is called the Gateway.
Oh boy, don't get on that one.
So where?
Don't get on
Go
that
through
one.
all of this.
And I'm still. It looks like my machine is still doing this thing on this install. So what I'm going to do is I've installed Ansible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin up another instance on DigitalOcean. We're going to use my Openstack machine, and we're going to set up our SSH keys. And about I wanted you to do it because it would have been quicker, but you couldn't figure out how to share your screen, and then it froze on you. You must have a gateway. So let me go to my DigitalOcean, and I'm going to spin up an instance. Normally, I would do this from command line, but I don't have none of that set up, so you have to bear with me. What screen are you seeing? DigitalOcean? All right. Let's create some documents. Come on, you can do it. Create documents. All right, let's go CentOS. Since that's what we were playing with. 5, we don't need. We need private networking. I'm just going to call this my test. And create. And I'm going to get some information sent to me. I should have did it in another zone because New York was giving some problems earlier. It was slow. See? That's what it did the last time. It took 10 minutes. I don't know why I didn't do that. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Anyway, we got another way we can go. So let's go back to my machine. Let's open up another terminal. Let's set up some SSH keys locally on my machine. To my Openstack. So good. All right. Here. All right. So in order for me to set up my SSH keys, it's SSH keygen. I won't give it any type of passwords here. We'll just do this thing. Just doing this thing. All right. We now have some .ssh. There you go. This guy. ID pub is what we're going to push up. So here, I need to go over here and make myself a user. Just need to read. Give myself a password. I could have did this all on one line, but I'm lazy. Oh, snap. All right. So you see this screen right here, right? Yeah. Now let me go to the other one so you can see what I did. I made a user. I added the user. You see I messed up on the password. I made the user Tamika Reed because the user here is Tamika Reed on my other screen. This one. All right. So now, let me get this IP address right quick. Hold on. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to SSH-I. We're going to copy this guy up and at that IP address, and we're going to type in my IP address. All right. So why didn't I do that? Oh, I did it wrong. Haha. Come on. Is it copyrighted? Is it not installed? Let's see. It may not be installed on this machine. How about that? No copy ID? I guess not. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm looking. Hold on. That should be like a standard, but I guess it's not. Can I just type that? Yeah, not there. So we can't do that. Let's see. SSH copy ID. Yeah, see, it's there on it's there on my other box. See, it's there, but it's not there on the Mac. That makes it even harder. All right, yeah. Is this done yet? Oh, it looks like it's done. Hold on. Hold on. All right, it looks like it's done. All right, hold on. Can we do a? Let's do a. What did I just do? Python. Is it gonna take a long time for Pip? Because I don't have a SSH copy ID. So basically, what you're supposed to do is SSH.
You can't do a quick brew install of that?
Well, what I can do is cheat.
Okay, even better.
Huh?
Cheats.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll copy. Come on. I'll copy. So you can see what I'm doing on screen. Do you see that screen? Yeah, you should see the green screen. All right, so let me issue dash read. No SSH, no known hosts, no nothing. Oh, that's awesome. So, can I do this? Oh, and it's not known. It's just authorized. So all right, let's see if that will work. No, I think it has to do with maybe the file needs to be 600. I think it does. See if that works. No, still don't like me. What is the file flavor of choice? Alright. Authorized. Oh, it's authorized keys. I'm gonna put authorized host. Should be maybe authorized keys. Let's move authorized keys to authorized. Authorized host to authorized keys. Let's go back. You should be here. Ha 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 ha. Alright. What is it telling me? It is required that your private key files are not accessible by others. This private key will be ignored. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So Chmod 600. Alright, let's see if this still works. Yeah. Come on. What? Oh, you asking me what it is? Okay. I messed that up. So basically, what was supposed to happen was I cheated. What I did was I went over here and I generated the authorized keys file. And I think that should be 600 too. Oh, no, it is 600 authorized keys. And so what I did was I created the authorized keys file. I stuck the keys in there. And then once that happens is when it SSHs, it should have SSH and said, okay, well, I'm going to log in because these two match up and then go from there. But I don't have SSH copy ID, which is strange. But let's see if we can get it installed. So we can do brew. I wonder if it's SSH dash copy ID. And maybe I may have to do the open SSH server. Okay, and let's go back to my main machine here. Let's say SSH. Okay, copy ID dash I dot SSH ID pub, and then this machine here. Oh, what is it telling me? Oh, because it already exists. Let me remove it. I figured it was going to fail on that. All right, let's try it one more time. All right, so now when we go back and SSH to this machine, here it is. Should be directly on it, and I am. Voila. All of that. All right. So now back to what we originally were trying to do, as we were trying to set up Ansible. So let's locate Ansible, and let's grab host. I think we don't want to run all that. Let me find out right quick. I think it's user local. Ansible host OS 10. I think it's user local, something like that. CCD, let's do ls user local. No Ansible.
Is it under bin?
Where are you at, Mr. Ansible? I used to know it off the top of my head, but now I don't. No, hold on, let me read. Show you what I'm reading. So Ansible, host file, Mac. Oh, so we can give it an alternative. Let's see. Ansible config. So they're saying I don't see a ansible.cfg. The locate doesn't exist. Let's run this right quick. Alright, so okay. Ansible. I just did that. What do you mean? You didn't like it? It's not like there's a lot on here for this to run. It's already loaded. Now you're telling me that you're running in the background and I need to wait? That's what it sounds like. Anyway, on the Mac, on the CentOS machine, here's your host file. On this machine, we need to find this guy. So we could just do a little ping, that's all. You got yours up and running, Tamika?
Oh, like, what's that? Say that again?
I said you got yours up and running?
But nope.
It crashed on you, right? And now I can tell it that I want to do something different. Come on. Brew. Yeah. But they don't show where they got it at. Let's look and see. Yeah, I know that's local. Let's see. No. To include. No. I'm guessing now. Yeah. How about live? No. Where did you put it at, Mac? I used to know this off the top of my head. Have to host file, Ansible. Are you seeing my screen? Yeah, but where is that at? We're getting started.
And see your Google display.
Oh. You see this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking for the little file that tells me where it's at. And I don't see it. Well, for all intents and purposes, we're set up. We just need the host file. And this all looks like they're setting up their own environment here. And they made a playbook, but they don't show exactly where in Mac it goes. Let me see if that locate. Has ever finished completing? I did run that command, but it just did not like me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I ran that command. Alright, so let's go back over to UTC. Let's look and see if we see any Ansible stuff. As I thought, nothing. Go ahead. And let's see if we can do a find. Under user, well, let's go under user. Dash name. What would we call host? I figured it. Nothing. Let's try Ansible. Let's try at the root level. So we're gonna do a find to see if it find. I didn't want to search the whole daggone thing, but hey, that's all I got left with. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, what we were gonna do is we were gonna come in. We were gonna put in our host in here. We can run it locally though. And then, what am I not? Root. Oh yeah. Let me exit out. That's the other step you gotta do is set up yourself as sudoers. And look for root. Here we go. All right, and let's go back to this guy. And then in here, I can set up comes with great power. Rio, you know. All right, so here, let's just add someone. And right. Now there are other things that we could do, like it's still looking. Oh, are you not seeing on my screen? Did you not see this? There's other things we could do, like we can go and say, okay, what I did was I added localhost here. So we can get commands about Ansible as a localhost. And let me pull that up for you. Let me show you this. All right, so as you can see here, my screen is frozen on me now. So as you can see here, I can run the playbook locally on my machines, on my local host. So let's create a little small playbook. To run locally. Oopsie. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to say I'm in my home directory. I prefer to put it in opt, just in case other users or somebody else logs into the box to use it, or they don't have to be in my home directory because my home directory is not shared like that. All right. So what I'm going to do now is create a YAML file. And let's call it a test.yml. Here, spacing is important. And we'll go over this next week, especially after we get our Openstack stuff set up correctly. So that way we can do some commands with Openstack and Ansible, and we can learn Ansible too and start setting up roles. I'll probably go over like the first 3 chapters of that book. And then I'll slow down and do like maybe 2 chapters a week until we finish the book, and then we'll go from there. All right. So first things first, I always start off with the 3 spaces, 3 dashes here, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to say host. And for us, it could be just what we want it to be, just that one machine, which is our local machine. And then we can do a task. And then this task, we can say, okay, well, that's another thing we can do. We can say, hey, I want you to do a, and it's spacing, remember, 1, 2, 3, we do a dash, and we can name it. Let's do name my file, whatever. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's line them up. Command echo. Hey y'all. That's country. And basically that's it for my file. Now there is a way. Oh, you really? Are you telling me I can't write to that? Don't do that. Hold on. I didn't use sudo. Here we go. So there is a way we can run like the Ansible playbook where we run a configuration test. But I think there's one other thing that I have to do, and we'll see if this works. Let's see if this works first. But I think I have to tell it that what local host is. I mean, local, and let's call it test. All right, it's a syntax error. Specified no longer in the file. Made change column, see line 7. So set menu. Maybe in that space. And maybe it didn't like command. We're about to find out. Host here, was it not like? Playbook must be in the list. Let's see. Yeah. Do I need to change this to localhost? I don't think so. And let me see. Let me do this. It's there. So this should work. Well, let's see. Why are you complaining? Aren't you? Do I not need to say host? I don't think so. Let's just do this. Let's change it to all. There's nothing else in there. Me and this pseudo. I want to do this guy. So let's find out what we keep running into this. Let's look this error up. And we are looking this error up. Come on. You see this? It is so slow. Come on, little machine. You can do it. Alright. So there it is. That's the syntax check. That's what I want. Let's do that. The playbook must be a list of plays. The error occurs in line 2, but else we have the 5 depending on the other. So, and there's space. We have everything lined up. Let's go with this one. Just deleting what it could possibly be. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Still complaining about host. Oh, I know it is. I forgot. Seriously. What else could be wrong? I have to look it up. I have to look up my thing. Hold on. I have a solution for this. This is how you cheat. Mm-mm-mm. Let's do a comparison now. All right. So I'm looking at mine. We have the host. We have the host that it could possibly be. And then I guess the task isn't over far enough for it. Last commands 1, 2, 3. Let's double check that spacing. All right. So now we can run the playbook. We gather the facts. It didn't echo out, but it's running. So here we can change this to let's see if we can do a print. File work. Okay. The command doesn't exist. Oh, and I didn't do sudo. So what I have to do in here, I have to do what we call become. And so I can become sudo to do that. And that's why I put myself in the sudo file. All right. Yeah, so it's no print command. Yeah, so print form, hello. I think you got to specify the format that you want it to print into your print form. Okay, let's do printf. Oh, this is on here. And it might have printed to the log file too, by the way. And we'll double check that. Okay, so now let's do a tail dash in the last 10 lines of our log messages. Sudo. It did, I don't see it. So I don't know where it put it at, but we can do one other thing. We can touch slash opt my test 2.yellow. So this should create a file here called test2.yellow. And it should be empty because I put that in it. But that's the basics of it. And what we'll do is once we get it set, once I get it set up on I have it set up on my other Mac. We'll start playing with Ansible from the interface. OpenStack from the interface and OpenStack from command. And then that way we can we'll try to kill two birds with one stone with OpenStack and Ansible all together. And we'll go over playbooks and what's the best ways to use it in terms of like should you create a role versus what commands you should use, should you not use commands, should you go and look and see what commands are available. And then like there's Ansible, shell, right? And then you can get Ansible has documentation. So it's Ansible -doc, and I can do on let's do it on command. So here's the documentation for Ansible on my options that I have for the command. Like I can dir or create or remove or set warnings and so forth. So you can do the same thing with and so the reason why I had to do a pip install, because pip installs a upgraded version of Ansible. So I think it's pip install Ansible. I think it's pip install Ansible upgrade or something like that. Okay, I don't have pip installed in here, so I have to install pip. But let me see. Let me get my screen back up. Here, I'm do pip upgrade. I think that's wrong. I think you had to do pip install and then upgrade Ansible. I think it may be Packstack upgrade. Okay. See, I forget off the top of my head. There you go. Yeah, so pip install -- upgrade Ansible, and you can see it's 2.31 that is downloading. I don't know what it installed by default, but now it's walking through and installing Ansible and all the necessary tools that go along with it. And so certain, like for 2.31 versus what you get from the one from CentOS, pip, the later version rely on pip. So you can use pip to install what you may need. What you'll find if you have CentOS and you don't have like the latest and greatest version of pip, or internet connection, I should say, you won't be able to install the latest and greatest versions of files that you need. Like pexpect is one of the ones I ran into and I had problems with. And that concludes the class. I hope it was informative.
Hey, Tamika, you actually recorded this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you actually post that recording on the site? Because it was great. And what I want to do is go back through again and watch it again so that way I could pause, rewind, replay.